What's up, internet? Welcome back to another Crown Racing Co. video. We have an awesome video for you guys today. This whole video is going to be me going through and rebuilding and restoring my 1997 Honda CR125. This is a really fun video for me and Steve to make because not only was this my first two-stroke rebuild I've ever done, but it was also my first dirt bike rebuild. This is the first dirt bike I've ever had, so we tear it completely down to the frame. We clean everything, we tear the entire engine apart, we replace the transmission bearings. Obviously we've replaced the bottom end because that's what blew up. We do the top end, throw it all back together, and then we tune it. So you guys, if you're dirt bike fans, you're gonna really like this video. Obviously, you can see what the bike looks like now. This is what the bike looked like when it was old, so here's a comparison from old to new. It's honestly pretty rewarding to see how the bike looks now. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, and it rides really good. So overall, I was able to do this entire rebuild for pretty much roughly around $1,000 to $1,200. I basically used Wiseco bottom end and top end rebuild kits, Cometic gaskets, UFO plastics, and a bunch Renthal chain sprockets, all that. Pretty normal name brand parts, and it was pretty cheap. This was kind of a nice treat rebuilding this Honda because it was a lot cheaper than rebuilding the Mustang over there.
6 months worth of work dialed into a 10-minute video.
Yeah, this was like a side project, so it kind of took a while to get done. It took us all summer, but you'll see in this video piece by piece. Let's put it together and go through all the steps it took to get it to this form right here. I also have some riding clips in this video for you guys to enjoy as well. So with that said, let's get into the video. So while we're restoring the engine for my CR125, I figured I'll replace all the plastics and make it look way nicer while I have it all ripped apart anyway. So I ended up going with UFO plastics, and I got a full plastic kit. I can't wait to see what the bike looks like with this stuff on, so let's put it on. This is the next step we gotta do. Okay, so now we have the two sides of the crankcase all cleaned. All the new transmission bearings are pressed in. The new crank bearings are pressed in. All the gasket surfaces are cleaned. So now I'm gonna put these two sides in the oven, and I'm gonna let them sit in the oven at 270 Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes. And the crank is sitting in the freezer right now, like a freezer in a normal fridge, nothing special. Well, we're gonna put the crank in on this side, and then we'll put the input and output shaft for the transmission in on this side of the crankcase as well, and then we'll just bring this right side of the crankcase over onto the other side, and then we should be done with assembling the bottom end. So here's where we're at. The crank, I put it in the freezer, let it chill, and I just dropped it into the crank bearing. It went in super easy, and then we have the whole transmission and everything installed just like that. So I just need to put silicone around the paper gasket and put silicone around the vent tube. And then once those are all in place, I can bring the other side of the crankcase down and put it on top of everything. All right, halfway done with rebuilding the bottom end. So now it's time to set up the link, like the shifting mechanism and the main drive off the crank and all that stuff. So you guys see I've already got ahead a little bit. I installed the spring and gear for the kick lever to start the motor, this idler gear, and then this isn't tight yet, but this is the drive gear on the crank. And then this gear is what opens and closes your power valve in the cylinder head. I have that installed. So I just got done installing the first part of the drum. This connects to the shift drum, and I just tightened down this bolt at 22 Newton meters. The next thing I need to do is install the ratchet paw mechanism along with the bracket here to hold everything in place and connect to the actual shifter itself. Got the shifting mechanism all installed and done. All right, we're making progress. So the next step is I got to install the clutch and all that stuff. So this is also going to be another one of those steps where it's going to be kind of tricky when I go to tighten the bolt at the end. I'm going to have to figure out a way to hold it, but I'm going to start stacking the clutches. We'll torque the pressure plate down, and then I think we'll be ready to put the other cover on and start.
Yeah, we're getting close here.
And all that stuff.
We got to do the clutch, then we have to do the stator on the other side, and then we can just put all this together.
Yep. I'm really liking this parts washer. Little mini parts washer. Perfect.
It's got a pump with mineral spirits, right?
No, it's just detergent.
Oh,
water
just
and
soapy
detergent.
water.
Yeah.
Are you agitating the dirt with that brush?
The debris. Yeah.
The debris.
Agitating the debris. Now it's starting to get exciting. We just got our cylinder installed, so the next step is we need to put our head gasket on, which I have right here. I ended up going with the Cometic top end gasket kit, and then we're gonna install our brand new cylinder head. I love this thing, look how nice and shiny it is. Super cool. Then after that, we gotta finish buttoning up the power valve and connecting it, and then we'll probably move on to installing the engine inside of the bike over there. New day, got a lot of progress done with the dirt bike, so let me show you guys what I got done.
It's coming together, lots of stuff on there.
Yeah, a lot's coming together so far. So I got the engine installed. I got the radiators installed and all the cooling hoses.
Yeah, new coolant hoses.
I got the ignition hooked up and wired again. And then I attached the swing arm and I attached the top coil over and I put on this back bracket for the rear seat. So we're getting there. I still need to replace the bearings and seals in the rear wheel, and then I'll be ready to put the rear wheel on. And then once I get the rear wheel on, I'll do the chain and sprocket, and then I'll finally be able to do my final torques of the clutch basket, the ignition stator, and the final drive sprocket. Then everything will finally be torqued, and then I'll just have to do plastics, some grips, and do the brush guards and stuff like that, and then we're gonna have a dirt bike and we're gonna get to ride it soon.
Yeah, just before it snows. The black plastics look really good. It looks fresh. Building the clutch finally. We are building the clutch.
Yep, so let me get this on. So like I told you guys, I didn't buy the tool to lock the clutch basket to torque it. So I finished taking care of the wheel, and then I just shoved a screwdriver in between the hole and the sprocket so it hit this swing arm. And then I was able to torque the center nut down to 59 Newton meters. So now I'm just stacking the clutch plates, and then I can finally finish off building this end. And just like that, the dirt bike's all back together and assembled. So we made our change to the main jet, put a 168 in the main jet for this carb. Now, one thing I didn't mention is the spark plug. Every single time I make a tuning change on the carb, I put a fresh spark plug in. That way I can pull the spark plug out after I'm done riding it. And I can also look at the spark plug so it can tell me what's going on with the bike, whether it's too lean or rich. The spark plug is a really useful way for figuring out your tune. So it's a little bit too late to do our test ride tonight. So when I get home from work tomorrow, we're gonna take this beautiful CR125 on a test ride, and we're gonna hope that our tune is perfect now. We're not gonna have any issues after we ride for 10 minutes or longer. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. You guys know the deal. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Overall, I'm super happy with the way my CR125 came out after the rebuild. It runs good, it sounds good. I love the way it looks with the new plastics. And overall, super happy with the way the bike came out.
It looks so good. Dude, great job, Marcus.
So
you're
now,
a versatile mechanic. Cars and dirt bikes.
Diesel trucks, Mustang, drift car.
You can fix it all, can't you?
Two-stroke dirt bikes, two-stroke jet skis. Yeah, we like it all.
Put it there. Nice build.
Thanks.
Nice build,
if
guy.
It's got an engine and you can sit on it and ride it, I'm a fan of it.
Dude, cool. So, you want to give the followers some trail clips? You gonna go for a ride and show them the property?
Yeah, I'll go rip around the property to finish off the video.
All right, fire her up.